and welcome to the Ambition to Grow podcast, a space for women of color to be empowered and encouraged with authentic, transparent conversations. This podcast is for all the women striving to be the best version of themselves while growing and healing. I'm your host, Bree Ward, and my goal is to help bring you a little closer to peace and your ultimate power. Welcome to Ambition to Grow. Hello, and welcome back to the Ambition to Grow podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in to the 6th episode this week. I'm so excited to have you here with me. I hope that everybody is doing well and that you've had a good last couple of weeks. I took off last week just for a little break because I would have extended myself way further than I would have felt comfortable if I would have made an episode last week. Just because I'm trying to figure out a good cadence for recording, editing, posting within my week. And yes, last week was just very busy and chaotic because I was planning a 2-year-old's birthday and hosting and doing gift bags and ordering cake and doing all of those fun things. So I needed a little mental break, and I'm so excited to be back. It feels like it's been forever, even though I've only taken 1 week off. But I'm happy to be back and talking with you guys a little bit. So just jumping right in, lately I have been struggling a bit with some of just like my basic self-care things. Resting has been a really big one, and just taking care of like my body and mind with just like eating healthy food, eating at, good times of the day, making sure I'm eating at all, exercising, just taking care of my mind and body. It's something that I still struggle with, and it's something that I haven't like kind of figured out all the way yet. And so I feel like self-care is just something that is like kind of hot topic and something that people talk about. And it's like, oh, self-care. I feel like it's dying down a little bit. Not as many people are talking about it as they were like in like 2020, 2021 time frame. But I think that not everyone always talks about practical self-care and just like things that are not always like, go to the spa, have someone watch your kids and do this, but it's something that you can do and build into your routine that, starts to build healthier habits for yourself. And that's how I see self-care. And it's something that I feel like comes in waves in my life where I want to be better, or I do better with it, and then I fall off. It kind of comes in waves sometimes, and right now I've just been in a really busy season of change, and just a lot of things are different in my life, and it's like I'm dealing with different experiences that I've never really dealt with before, and having to do a lot of heavy lifting and work just in my life every day. So when I'm busy doing all of the things, being the super mom, wife, worker, trying to be there for everyone, and trying to do everything, it's easy for me to forget about myself. And a lot of times I just can't sit my ass down. And that is my problem. I feel like, I wrote it out here. My relationship with productivity is very toxic and unhealthy. And I think that this is something that a lot of people struggle with, especially women, especially Black women, because a lot of times our productivity is tied to our worthiness. And so it's easy to be able to quickly associate like, oh, I get praise when I produce this, like when I bring home good grades, I get praise. So I have to work my ass off so that I can show up in this way. So that's kind of just an example for me. Productivity equals love. Productivity equals then I can rest. I can get my monetary whatever that I deserve after I produce X amount or clean up all of this or show up for these people, work this hard, get my son this, then I can rest, then I can take care of myself. And that is not been, it is not proven to be successful in my life. And it's a struggle to get out of the mindset of that, because I sometimes really can't sit down. I will be standing up, doing the dishes, doing laundry, vacuuming, wiping down counters, getting Jet ready for bed, doing this, doing that. And then as soon as all of that stuff is done, I find something else to do. And it's before I know it, it's 11:30 at night, and I still have to do all of my things for myself, take a shower, do my hair, get ready for the next day. So it's I often push myself to the way, 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 way back burner, because I feel like everything else becomes more of a priority. And it's become very apparent that I need to look at my relationship with myself and figure out why I don't value myself enough to be able to put myself first in certain areas of my life, and why I can't take care of myself the way that I need to, so that not only can I show up for everyone else in my life, but then I can show up for myself wholly and not grumpy, not just trying to get through the day, just trying to get through. I don't want to be in survival mode. I want to be thriving. I want to feel like I am enjoying the journey of each day, the ups and the downs. And when we don't put that time in to take care of ourselves, to check in with ourselves, to be in actual relationship with ourselves, that is when stuff starts to get dangerous, because then you just being on that autopilot mode. And that's what it feels like a lot of times, is I'm in autopilot. I see this thing, I go do it. I see a chore that needs to be done, I go do it. And I can't sit down until I feel like my space is to a certain standard. And that's just, that's not a season, the season that I'm in, oh my gosh, the season that I'm in my life right now, is going to require some mess. Okay. My kitchen ain't going to be clean every day. There's going to be toys on the floor. There's going to be crumbs. I sweep 10 times a day, and I'm still getting crumbs on my feet all the time. I vacuum every day. The next day, there's crumbs all on the floor. It doesn't matter. And so stressing about it and trying to always make sure that I keep it clean is just making me more stressed out. Nobody else in my house really cares about those little things, because it's more it's just something that I struggle with. It's something that I don't know. It's something I struggle with. I don't know. I'm still trying to unpack it and figure out how to heal this this thing that I'm dealing with. But anyway, yeah, everybody talks about self-care and stuff, but today we're going to talk about 5 practical self-care practices that cost only your time and no money. Because I think self-care a lot of times can be tied to oh, I don't have money for that. I don't have money to go do this or to spend that. And it doesn't have to be that. Self-care can be drinking water. It can be watching a show that you like, reading a book, going outside and getting some fresh air. So these are just some things off the top of my head, but we are going to get into 5 other practical self-care practices. And I got this list from Live Like Her. If you are not familiar with Live Like Her, you should definitely check her out. Her name is Alicia Caldwell, and she is an amazing motivational speaker, podcast host, mental empowerment coach, and her whole mission is to help women who are feeling They, on the outward appearance, it seems like they have everything together, like they're, successful outwardly, but internally they're still trying to battle things and trying to heal and grow and discover themselves. And so she has been a licensed mental health counselor for a long time. I don't want to misquote anything, but she did that for a really long time, and now she's pivoting. She's so amazing, and she always gives great tidbits on her Instagram, especially, is where I like to get her content. So you guys should definitely check her out. She's also on Facebook and LinkedIn at Live Like Her, LiveLikeHer, Live Like Her, just like it sounds. And on Instagram, her handle is Live Like Her and then the number 2. So you guys should definitely check her out. And this is where I got this list. She had a post on soul care last week, and it really stuck out to me, and it was very practical things that you could do. I believe she had like maybe 10 or 12 things listed out, and I'm just touching on 5 of them that I thought were really good and stood out to me, with things that I've actually done and have been trying to work on. So yeah, let's just jump into that. So number 1, create or read positive affirmations. This is something that I try to do. I did it a lot when I was pregnant with my son. I had affirmations that I wrote on sticky notes for me and my husband to read. I put his sticky notes on his side of the mirror. I put my sticky notes on my side of the mirror. And that way you see it. Even if you don't necessarily intentionally read it and say it out loud, you see it. And it's something that you can fill your heart and mind with when you may not even realize that you need that little affirmation. And it's something that you can use to uplift you, talking to yourself. Because a lot of times, for me, I am a words of affirmation girl. So I really appreciate external validation from other people. And so sometimes it's hard for me to give that validation to myself. And so, I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to tap back into my affirmations. So I would suggest is start with like 5 affirmations and put them on some sticky notes in your mirror, or open your notes app on your phone. Write your affirmations in there. You can screenshot that and make it your screensaver. You could set an alarm at a certain time in the morning, certain time in the evening, on your lunch break, where you can just say these affirmations to yourself. There's also YouTube videos with affirmations that you can just listen to. You don't have to say them. There are meditations on Insight Timer, and I'm sure other meditation apps that are affirmations you can look up for specific things. Affirmations for Black women, affirmations for Christian women, affirmations for women with anxiety, affirmations for, women struggling with depression. Like, there are all types of affirmations that you can look up that will actually pour life into you. And affirmations are something that I really love. So I think that doing that is a little way that you can, it doesn't cost any money, and very little time, to be able to take literally 2 to 3 minutes with yourself and say, I am powerful, I am capable to get through this day, I am grateful for the life that I have been given. I'm just coming off with these things on the top of my head. Having your affirmations that you can, listen to, talk to, or say out loud to yourself is very important, and I love that. The second one is honor your emotions. Stop ignoring how you feel. Tap in with yourself and assimilate to care for you. Oh my God. It is so easy to ignore your emotions, ignore how you feel, suppress things. And I'm here to tell you that you have to stop doing that, because it is not benefiting anyone. It's not benefiting yourself. It's not benefiting your loved ones. It's not benefiting anyone around you. And it damn sure ain't benefiting your future self. You got to stop, and you got to actually tap in and figure out, what am I feeling? And after you figure out what you are feeling, honor it. If you're anxious, honor that you're feeling anxious and figure out, what do I need to do to help my anxiety right now? Do I need to stop what I'm doing and take some deep breaths? Do I need to get off of social media because something triggered me? Do I need to physically remove myself from this environment that I'm in because I'm feeling anxious and I need some air? Just whatever it may be, tapping in and asking yourself, what can I do in this moment or in the future to help me to not feel this way and to start being better in whatever situation it may be. So honoring your emotions, that one's a huge one. And I think that it is so much easier said than done. But it just starts with acknowledging how you feel and going from there, saying, okay, how do I feel? And how can I go from this moment to feel better or figure out why I'm feeling the way I feel? Okay. Listen to uplifting music. Oh my gosh, y'all know I love me some music. I love a good playlist. I love a good album. I actually have a playlist, that I go to specifically when I'm not feeling good, when I need to be uplifted, when it's the morning time and I'm like, I need some sisters to speak some life into me. My musical sisters. So yeah, that's the one I really love, listening to some uplifting music. Create a playlist of songs that make you feel good. Find songs that you love and that you can tap into that make you feel happier, uplifted, or just bring some joy to your life. I love that. I love music. I love listening to a good uplifting playlist. Okay, moving on to number 4. Practice gratitude. Oh my gosh, gratitude and practicing gratitude has definitely changed my life, because after having my son and just realizing how precious life is and how I be tripping off stuff that really doesn't even matter, bruh. It's I am grateful that I can stand up right now. I'm grateful that I can walk outside and take a breath of fresh air. Because when I was laid up in that hospital bed, I couldn't do that. They didn't even want me walking. They were telling me that I couldn't get up out of the bed and walk. It feels so paralyzing to have someone telling you what you can and can't do with your body. And I think that we get so used to being able to get up, hop in our car, drive to the store, and come back home. That is a blessing and one of the most underrated, or what is it? Underrated? Overrated? Overrated blessings? I don't know which term is correct. But that's one of them blessings that's people be taking for granted, because we don't, we are not somebody didn't make it home after they went to the store. Somebody isn't alive. Somebody didn't wake up this morning. Somebody lost a loved one. Even in the midst of all of the pain that we experience and the horrible experiences that we experience, there was always something to be grateful for. Always. And if you can practice gratitude and stay grateful, always find 1 to 2 things to be grateful for. I'm grateful right now in this moment that my mama kept my son. She saw us at the park. She was like, hey, I can take him for a couple hours. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I am breathing and that I am sitting in my own apartment and I have a shelter. I'm grateful for that, because a lot of people don't have that. And I'm living my wildest dream. I have so much to be grateful for, but in the midst of the chaos, it's easy to be like, oh my God, my life is so horrible. It ain't that bad. It always could be worse, and there's somebody who envies the life that you have because they wish that they could have the blessings that you have in your life. So stay grateful. That's something that really, really helps me stay grounded in this world. Okay. Ooh, I begin out of breath. Sorry. Unplug from social media. This is number 5. Unplug from social media. Limit your social media time. I don't care. Social media is toxic. It doesn't always have to be, but it's it's messing up a lot of people's perception of life and a lot of people's perception of themselves. And it's becoming an unhealthy aspect of a lot of our lives. And I'm not saying that you have to get off of all your social media, but I'm saying put time limits on it. You don't gotta wake up and immediately jump on Facebook, immediately jump on TikTok. Give yourself some time to check in. How do I feel? Am I thirsty? Am I, feeling like not really that great? Am I happy? Am I feeling good? We don't even be knowing how we feel because we're so wrapped up in some video of somebody else's life that we don't even know. And that's not helpful. It's not bringing anything great to your life. Social media can be a great tool to connect with people, to grow your business, to grow your mind, and learn things. I'm not saying that social media is a bad thing, but I'm saying that anything in excess is dangerous. Anything, even the best thing in excess is dangerous, or it can be anyway. So I'm just saying that to say, limit yourself, unplug from social media, put a time limit on it. Do something to try to tap into something more physical. Read a book, do some art, do something with your hands, because being on social media and scrolling, it'll turn your brain to mush real quick. It's crazy. So yeah, those are the 5 things that I thought were really great for the soul care or practical self-care. And like I said, I got this list from Live Like Her 2, the number 2 on Instagram. Everybody, please check her out and follow her. She's an amazing speaker, motivational personality, and she always has something uplifting to say, and she's doing big things, okay? So y'all need to tap in. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So a lot of times we be so hung up on, we want to do this, we want to do that. And my husband actually sent me something that the Wall Street Trapper had said, and it was, I'm going to butcher it. He was saying, change what you're saying. Oh, shit, what is it? I believe he was saying, change what you're saying or change your expectation. Because we be so quick to be like, oh yeah, like I want to be a millionaire. I want to break generational curses. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to, invest. And then we don't do it. We don't do it. We don't put in the work. We keep doing all of our same toxic things that we've done because it's comfortable and it's in our comfort zone. And we're saying these things that we want to do, but we're not actively working towards it. So don't say you want those things if you're not going to put in the work to do it. Just stop saying it or do it. And I know that it's easier said than done, but it's like everything is easier said than done. And if you don't put in the work, nobody's going to do it for you. And you got to build that life that you want. And that starts with little things like holding yourself accountable, checking in with your emotions, unplugging from social media sometimes. What was some of the other stuff? Honoring your emotions, creating positive affirmations, listening to uplifting things, practicing gratitude. Those things are the things that are going to change your life in the long run. It might seem little, but you got to start. And you want to be further tomorrow than you were today. So just do a little bit. But it's time to tap into you and your feelings. Self-care is something that's essential. Soul care, taking care of yourself, empowering yourself is very important in this growth journey and trying to get to where we're trying to go. And self-care can be very extravagant and it could be free. It could be very practical, free, and inexpensive, or it could be very extravagant and expensive. It's up to you. Like right now, I was just like, dang, I really need a massage. Sometimes I want to go and get the most expensive pedicure because I want to sit there for a whole hour and a half and, get my feet massaged on, get the shellac, get the wax, little bags and all that. I want it all. So sometimes I do spend and splurge on myself, but sometimes it's like, my self-care today is going to be laying down and not doing the dishes, resting when I feel tired. Those are things that we deserve to do. We deserve rest. We deserve to check in with ourselves. We deserve to not feel like we have to be constantly producing something to be worthy of love or praise. That's not how it works. I mean, sometimes it is how it works, but it ain't how it have to work. You are creating the life that you want. And although it's difficult and things are going to happen that you don't want to happen or that are hard to deal with, don't give up and just keep pursuing the life that you know that you deserve. Okay, moving on. This is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode. I'm proud of myself. I'm not doing all that rambling. So today's That's What Bree Said quote is, stop comparing your life to someone else's highlight reel. Ooh, baby. Y'all, I've noticed a lot. Like, first of all, social media get on my nerves. Social media is something that I really have a love-hate relationship with because a lot of people, they do this. They compare their life to somebody else's highlight reel, and it's of no fault to the person. It's the world that we live in now, and it's something that I hate, and it's something that I'm not a fan of. But I know that it's hard to not do that because I still do that, and I still feel like it's something that I struggle with a lot more when I was younger, like high school, college days. But how can you not look and be like, dang, how are they at this point? Because that's what everybody wants to do. They want to create the best highlight reel. They want to create literally a reel on Instagram, a TikTok, whatever, to show how great their life is. Nobody's going to create something about a hard time that they're experiencing, or about their family drama, or about the time they breaking down crying in a car because of whatever. Nobody's going to talk about that. And so when we look at our life and all of the nitty gritty pain that we feel, and we look at somebody's highlight reel and we're like, why can't my life be like that? It's like, you don't know what they're going through, like, at all. So don't compare your life to them. Don't feel like you need to be further than you are, because you're exactly where you need to be. And the chances is that the person who you're looking at and you feel like their life is so perfect, or you wish that you could be more like them, they struggle with their own insecurities, and they have things that they wish that they probably could change about their life as well. And so, yeah, I just think we really need to start focusing on ourselves and being in our lane, and that will eliminate a lot of issues that we deal with. So yeah, that's what we said tidbit. Moving on to the final and my favorite section of the podcast at the end is the song recommendation. So we're gonna do a little gospel song today. So the gospel, it's not super gospel, but it's a Kirk Franklin song called Just For Me. And I absolutely love this song. It's something that this is the song that's on my uplifting playlist. I believe it is. Or maybe it's just on my gospel playlist. I can't remember. But that's my uplifting playlist too. But yeah, I love this song because it's just so spot on for even like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that this goes with the That's What Bree Said quote. But it's like talking about like looking at other people and like just going through the growth and things, and then being like, dang, this is hard, but I know you're still doing something just for me. So give me a second and let me get the lyrics for my favorite part. Okay, so this is my favorite little section of this song. So it goes, all the moments I missed that were just for me because I chose not to wait patiently. Before every mistake was the same amount of grace, and that's what kept my blessings waiting just for me. And I love that song so much because it's just, it's so spot on, especially with God's grace for us and for his ultimate plan. A lot of times we can't see around the bend like he can. And, there's things that have happened in my life and I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, God, you did that because I needed this to happen so that could happen. And it's like, in that moment, I was like, oh my God, this is too much. But it's like I needed that so that I could get to this place that I'm at now. And I don't know what he's building for me that's around the corner, but it ain't really none of my business. My business is to be obedient to him and to follow the plan that he has for me and go on from there. I mean, I can't do nothing else. I can't. So yeah, I love that song. It reminds me of that and it brings me back to that very grounded place with the Lord. So yeah, my husband got the TV on loud and thick in the living room. I hope you can't pick it up on the mic because I can kind of hear it in my headphones, but that's okay. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Ambition to Grow podcast. I'm so grateful to have had you tune in with me, and I hope that this message met you in a good place and that you can take some of these practical self-care tips and apply them to your life. And definitely check out Live Like Her, Live Like Her 2 on Instagram, and make sure that you are able to tap into some of the resources that she has. If you need a event, if you need if you need a mental empowerment, self-care focused speaker, she is awesome and amazing. And yeah, I'm just so grateful to be able to have this platform to help other people who are on this journey with me. I'm so grateful for you guys, and I hope that you have a great rest of your week, and I will talk to y'all next week. Bye. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in to the Ambition to Grow podcast. I hope that you're leaving a little more blessed than you were when you started. If you enjoy the show your girl some love with a 5-star rating. Also, follow me on Instagram at Ambition to Grow. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day or night, and stay blessed, my loves.